All right. We're gonna talk about this guy. His name is Donovan Sharp. We're gonna talk about him. No, I'm gonna talk about everything else but him. Okay, but he's the subject. He's the one that gave us the case study to look at today, and I want to dissect this word by word because a couple of things. Okay, a couple of reasons. Let me tell you why I'm covering this. This is not our typical topic. Our typical topic has to do with relationship. We talk about power. We talk about seduction. We talk about attraction. The seduction aspect of it, when you really engage it, you won't have time to be complaining about the other gender. There's just so much to learn. There's no energy left to be worrying about somebody that doesn't want you, or somebody that's not giving you face or giving you energy, or somebody that doesn't know you exist. There's a good chance you don't know they exist, right? Because you don't have the time, you don't have the energy to be worrying about somebody that's just not meant to be in your world, right? So if you engage that, we'll also talk about that in terms of using that to influence attraction, right? And then emotional intelligence is a big part of everything we talk about, because when people behave the way they behave, they are able to say, "Oh, interesting." But you're not able to do that until you behave a certain way. You catch yourself in the middle of being caught up in your emotions, because it's going to happen to you, right? And you're like, why am I behaving that way? Or you talk in a certain way, right? And you're like, why am I talking like that? Why do I sound angry, right? You're able to catch yourself in the midst of sounding angry without saying it's the fault of the other person, right? It's the fault of the other person. It's basically part of feminine energy, and it's not a good look on a man, especially on a man, because of our social construct. It's not a good look. Okay, it's the fault of the other person. It's like, I'm looking to receive. Please come and sow seeds in me so I can multiply and reciprocate. As a man, you're not capable of that, because you're already carrying millions upon millions of seeds you can sow, right? So it's just really in a bad place altogether. When you find yourself, and ladies, if you ever encounter this kind of situation, it's not normal. Okay, they're still the minority. Okay, I don't know if you to become majority at some point. There's a good chance you've stumbled into the wrong echo chamber that's probably going to try to teach you that the whole world looks like this. The truth is that it doesn't. Okay, the algorithms itself go on a bastard. Okay, bastard. So I understand if you find yourself in an echo chamber and you start to feel like the whole world think this way, it is not true. Okay, and I'm going to prove it to you today. Okay, when I first stumbled into, we started Lola and Ola, the channel, about 5 years ago, 2018. Check it out in the channel page. We release videos twice a week, my wife and I, just having a conversation. And you can check us out here on Valentine's Day. We'll be hanging out with you together, right? So as I was, creating content and looking for content and stuff like that, I started to see these people all over the place. I just sound like a bunch of angry people. I'm like, damn, I think I can help, right? And then I started to jump into the conversation prematurely. I wasn't prepared. I was not ready for that. Trust me, I was not. Okay. So what happened? I collected small, just small, right? But then it's the engaging the conversation helped me to really understand more of where they're coming from. And the truth is that I have better empathy for this type of people now today than 2 years ago, right? I stumbled into, I think it might have been through Kevin Sam. I stumbled into that viral video in April of 2020 during the COVID, right? And I think that's what really got me in that rabbit hole. And then before I knew it, I started to see all these people and all the talking points, and I was learning them. I was like, okay, I know what they're talking about. Then sometimes I'm a bit too fast and I back off a little bit. But today, I think safely, I know quite a bit about what their plight is, okay? And it makes sense. It makes sense when you have so many divorces, right? Happening at the same time as people coming out of high school into the internet, reading one line on how to get my ex back, and some old man, 58 years old somewhere, is telling them that it's because women are evil. And children, they have impressionable minds. Right? You have a 22, 23-year-old land into something like that, and they got dumped in high school. They never got over it. It's a bad look. it can really end up in a very bad place. They end up in the wrong hands. So here's an example of something that went viral yesterday, and I thought, you know what, let me showcase this. Let's talk about this, right? And I want to hear what you have to say about this once we're reading through it. Be respectful, because again, I think we can learn from it. We can learn what to do, but most especially what not to do if you've had certain types of experiences. Okay? We have to be very careful. All right? So let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. We're using this within fair use guidelines, but this was collected all over the place, some other channels, so it doesn't really matter. Fair use.
Any man who marries a woman past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. But yeah, David, listen, man.
Hey, whoa. Any man who marries a woman past the age of 23 years old, any man. That means all people that do this. My wife was 26 when I married her. So me too, go, I collect. Me self go, I collect.
Child, there is God. Oh.
Anyway, let's continue. Keep in mind, let's continue. Let's see. That's one. I don't know how long we're going to take here, but let's keep going.
I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, post-war women, they get married all the time, but the men...
Okay, marrying a single mom, right?
They get married to are very low value. They're beta males. They're pushovers. They're not real men. They're not the men that arouse these women. Devin is one of...
So if you marry this type of people, you're, according to Donovan Sharp, right? You're a pushover, you're a beta male, blah blah blah, right? Let me do a quick hold on 1 second. Let's just get comfortable here. Let's get a little comfortable. All right. Masculine and feminine energy, particularly the energy, nothing else, okay? I'm not talking about lions in the bush, okay? But masculine and feminine energy, they're only relevant when we're talking about sexual polarity. Thank you. All right. Please do not come to me and have a conversation with me about masculine and feminine energy unless we're talking about sexual polarity. If you say masculine, feminine energy in the midst of talking about something like community building or how a woman addressed you in a panel or something, this is what I'm hearing you say.
Different from blue, bulaba.
Okay, then also alpha, the idea of alpha male or beta male or anything like that. Alpha is just an animal that leads a pack, not a woman, a pack of people. Okay, so if you are leading a pack of men, you tend to be the leader of a pack of men. You might be considered alpha. Now, granted, there's been so many definitions all over the place because everyone is misusing it just to justify their stupid talking points all over the place. It's okay, it's fine. Okay, we'll leave it alone. We'll consider it another terminology that's ended up in the boto. That terminology alpha I don't collect massively this year. Like it's like yeah, so let's keep going.
Just a few women I've dated, older women I've dated who didn't have any kids when I met them. But again, they're the exceptions. Devin is my girlfriend.
He said just a few women he's dated that didn't have any kids when he met them. They're just the exception. That's not true either. But let's keep going. He's talking about his personal experiences, which he's going to tell us so much about his personal experiences today. Let's keep going.
Not my wife. We have never been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody.
All right, I want you to note the lady that's next to him right now. In that video we just saw, he said never been married, no kids, never adopted anything like that. Just note that, okay? Let's keep going.
I got a 13-year-old niece that stays here at least twice a week because...
Okay, so later on, this is just a collage of a bunch of videos, right? Later on, he comes to say, I got a 13-year-old niece that stays with them once a week. Let's keep going.
Olivia, she's 14 years old now, and she's a beautiful girl. She could.
And so as we now look at her application on the screen and go to the section describing her household, it states, do you have dependents? Yes. Does dependent live with you? Yes. Dependent's age, 10 years old. Dependent's relationship to debtor 1, daughter. Now keep in mind that this also contradicts everything Donovan Sharpe has taught his audience about the types of women to avoid, going all the way back to his days when he wrote for Return of Kings, to his free ebook called 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Relationship, where he states that single mothers should be avoided as they make for the worst girlfriends, wives, and mothers.
I was a single mom. And yes, listen.
So why would anybody come on the internet and do that to themselves? This guy has hundreds of thousands. Let me see if I can pull it up real quickly. Of subscribers. I'm gonna find it in a second. 1 second. Donovan Sharpe. Let's see. Let's even go through. Okay. This is one of the major reasons. It's people don't have enough followers. I don't try not to respond to what they're saying unless they don't have a name. Like it's just like the one we did earlier, right? But as far as public figure, they have to be a certain size, because then a bunch of Nigerian men are following these people, and they're looking for little ways to relate. You just came off the boat yesterday. You're talking about passport bros. You just came off the boat. You're already passport bros, okay? Right? But they can relate, and they're looking for answers anywhere and everywhere. They can find one little thing they can relate. They start to generalize all over the place too. But anyway, let me share this with you. Share this tab. Okay. All right. So I think you guys can see. Okay. Let me see. There you go. This is his page. Okay. Let me make it a bigger. Donovan Sharpe, 166,000 subscribers are following this man. As a matter of fact, okay. See, Charleston White drops heat on feminists. He's actually live right now as we're speaking. Okay. What kind of videos does he release, right? She said all the guys she slept with had to wait, right? He's responding, he's reacting to videos, anything that basically drags women. That's basically what he does. Okay. They had to wait. So now, because they had to wait and they've slept with somebody before in the past, it's like a punishment. Like, would you give it to the other person faster? Why did you give it to me the same timeline? Like as soon as you get, also I should suffer for the other men's, right? We have a bunch of men that worry about what other men are doing instead of them to focus on their capabilities in terms of attracting what they want. Not just women, but whatever you want, right? They're focused on what other men did. But anyway, that's a different topic for another day. But anyway, this is his page, 166,000 subscribers. This is why we have to talk about this. It's not as simple as, oh, people just talk. No. Sometimes we have to address what people are saying, and address them as soon as we can. Let's keep going here.
And I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Come.
This is him starting to swallow everything he said before. Okay, let me rewind.
Where he states that single mothers should be avoided as they make for the worst girlfriends, wives, and mothers.
I was a single mom. And yes, listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Come, don't commit to them. You've been married before.
He said, don't commit to them. Okay? Poto. He said, I feel like poto. Poro. May God forgive you, Chinye. Let's get it.
Okay, you've been married before.
I got married young, and I was married for a very long time. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an...
They met as an adult for 20-something years. They're between the age of 38, 41. They're doing the math. You know, that's nitpicking. Let's keep going. There are more important details to go.
As an adult.
I met you when you were 32. You are an older woman. Devin, my girlfriend, is an older woman. Okay? Yes, my girlfriend.
The lady said for 20 years plus that we met, he say you met when we were 32. See, they can't see liars, right? I want you. You have to keep up with the lie. with a new lie. You have to tell a new lie to support the other lie. You have to keep doing it, right? How sustainable is that? How much energy goes into having to protect your lies over the years, right? He's been around the internet for a long time. He's been telling these lies.
And is an older woman. She turned 36 back in February. I misled my audience about Devin's age, but I did that for privacy purposes. Just listen, Dev is 45. Devin is my girlfriend. She is not my wife. We have never been married. She is not.
What?
She what?
You misled your audience for what reason again? Let's go back. I have to go back. Let's go back. This guy. Oh Lord. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Privacy purposes. Just listen, Dev is 45.
For privacy purposes.
I misled my audience about Devin's age, but I did that for privacy purposes. Just listen, Dev is 45. Devin is my girlfriend. She is not my wife. We have never.
Wait, I'm confused. Maybe these videos were collected over the years. At one point she's 36, just turned 36. Now she's 45. I'm confused. Okay, let's continue. She does look 45, but let's keep going.
Been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody. There are older women out here, older single moms who are out here out competing younger childless women. So how would it, listen, I'm not saying this would be easy, but it is possible. So what would be your advice to your friend?
Well, okay. So does she have full custody of this child, or does she have shared parental?
Let's say she has a 50-50. Let's say
if
1
she's
week on, 1 week
50-50,
off.
then she's not a single mom.
She's asking her to define what a single mom is. A single mom is a single mom. How hard is that to define what a single? But when people have agenda, when agenda must agenda, they start to do like this, corner, dribble like this, right? When agenda must agenda, they will start to just. A single mom is a single mom. That's a person who is not married, who is a mom. A mom who happens to not be married. A single person who happens to be a mom. Very simple, right? But she has a definition. Let's hear the definition. Auntie, what did you say again?
Oh, it's co-parenting.
Okay. Let's say
If
1
she's
week on, 1 week
50-50,
off.
then she's not a single mom.
Oh. So if you have 50-50 custody, it's not a single mom. It's not about what she's saying particularly right now. It's about, I want you to understand, when people have agenda that are not sustainable, they don't realize it. They really, really believe they can sustain this for a lifetime. But the internet no be your mate. Our internet no be your mate. Internet no, they forget nothing. Let's keep going.
It's co-parenting.
Okay. That makes sense because you're not a single parent at that point.
No, you're definitely not. You're no more single parent than if you were still married.
Well, Cassie would have the world believe that she's always been this doting, dutiful. Oh, you know what? No, Cassie West has been ran through. Cassie West was a single mom when she married David West. Cassie West.
So she's calling another person's wife a run through because she was a single mother when he married her, knowing fully well that his whole life is chased after single mother. What's the title of this session? I'm gonna give it a title right now. Let's give it a title, okay? And I'll tell you where this title came from. You know, every now and then I jump into Clubhouse, just listen. For the most part, for cruise these days. But the truth is that a lot of people are over there and they're just misyanning fire. And I saw this guy, he kept posting this statement. There's not this particular guy, but another guy, one of the guys that follow the ministry and the red pill stuff, right? Stop saving baby mamas. Stop saving baby mamas. I'm like, why should I listen? You go hurt yourself, okay? But look at this guy. He's been telling people for years. At number 16 of his ebook says avoid, disqualify a woman who has already had children or something like that. Let's keep going. Now, what's the point of all this? I'll tell you in a second, because he's going to use his mouth. I'm not going to help him. He's going to use his mouth. I'm just doing commentary, honestly, because it's necessary, because this is fair use, okay? And honestly, you came here so you can hear what I have to say on these issues. Let's keep going.
These bad boys. She's a Karen that was ran through like everybody else, was a single mom. And this explains why this explains why David West is as weak as he is. But yeah, David, listen, man, I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, that doesn't make you a bad dude. And Cassie, you being a single mom when you married David, that doesn't make you a bad person either. Just understand that it's out there. And so you guys on this holier than thou, oh, we did it the right way. Cassie, let's not pretend that you didn't take the typical route that most modern women take. And David, let's not
what is the purpose ever of shaming a person that's living their own life? Somebody decides to marry a woman he loves, right? A single mother that he loves. What would ever be, can you tell me in the chat if there's any good reason to shame David West? I don't know who that person is, or his wife, who happened to have been a single mother when they met, right? What can you tell me maybe a reason that would make sense, right? I bet you can't, right? Oh, they just want it sweet. She's a run through. He said she's a run through. Don't ask me what that means. I'm not gonna repeat that. Figure it out. But you know, we're going somewhere. Stay with me.
Pretend that you're some apex alpha male. Like, come on. Like, we both know
apex
any man who
alpha
marries
male.
a woman past the age of.
All right. Is it me or is it me? I notice he's rolling his eyes quite a bit. Okay, he rolls his eyes quite a bit. You see that? Is it just me? All right, let's keep going.
Marries a woman past the age of 23 years old, you're getting leftovers. Devin, let me get you into this conversation because I met you when you were 32. Girls think it's cute and attractive to brag about their sexual escapades, but I waste zero time in 304 shaming them. I'll refer to Dev. Dude, when we first started dating, she used to brag about the dudes that she had smashed.
All right, let's slow down. The person that you're dating brags about the person they had smashed. Okay. That's not a good look. The person you're dating used to brag about the person that she had kerewa of all types with. How is that for a level of respect? How much respect do you think that lady has for him? Right? Now, these are the alpha males on the internet teaching people how to be alphas. They're everywhere. Okay, I just laugh when I see a lot of it, but then I feel sad at the same time because I could see all the young men in the chat. I'm like, man. And I can see all the in between, the nuances they're trying to pull it, but they try to be stubborn, they try to be harsh, they try to be alpha, but then it's not working. You can't split. Listen, if you're a simp, you are a simp at heart, deep inside. You cannot be who you're not overnight, at least not overnight, not by running to echo chamber and coming out, oh yes, suddenly no, it doesn't work like that. These are real life stuff. We're talking about your capabilities to connect in a romantic way, but of course you're not going to say that. You're just going to pretend, oh, we're just duty, responsibility, marriage. No, you're lying. You just want to get laid. That's the issues here. Okay? As a matter of fact, the next person that gives you a chance to get laid, you're probably going to marry them without looking twice, without doing proper vetting. That's how sad the situation. He's going to tell us, okay? Let's keep going.
Straight up. She used to brag about him. Dude, she used to brag all the time. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. And then I told her, look, stop it. She did it one more time. One more time.
So you have to say stop how many times? How many times did you have to say stop before she stopped talking about the person that bass boss? I said bass boss, right? How many times did you have to tell her again? Let's see.
Tested. She did it one more time.
No. It wasn't one more time.
And then I told her, look,
wait, let's go back.
She used to brag about him. Dude, she used to brag all the time. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. And then I told her, look, stop it.
And then I told her, stop it. This is where you pretend to be an alpha, right? Stop it. Put my foot down. Stop it right now. Gentlemen, at this point, she had zero respect left for you. It's too late. Maybe you're paying her way through something. There's some kind of value she's getting, but it's not you at this point. And it takes This fake alpha male, masculine man, it takes them to tell this kind of stories of what not to be. Listen, Jesus Christ, told her to stop it, like you're talking to a child. If you have to talk to your woman like she's a child, brotherly, that's not the way. You already lost it. There's no respect left, and this is going to make it worse. But let's keep going.
She did it one more time. One more time. She tested. One more time. She tested me. I shamed her literally to tears. You better believe it. I called her every name in the book. Number 4. Question number 4 to all you loser fans of Destiny. Is this really the guy you look to as something to aspire to? Would you want your life to look more like his or more like mine?
That sounds stupid as hell. Ladies and gentlemen of Press, would you like your life to look like his or mine? Right? You know me here. I'll be the first to tell you, like, be careful what you ask for. Maybe it's not my life you want. Maybe not. Okay? But these people, they don't know enough about life to even know that, come on, you put yourself on that pedestal, you fall all the time. I say that here all the time. You fall all the time. You know? Umashio, let's keep going.
Let's do a comparison. Well, listen, now he's smarter than I am. Number 1, he's probably got more money than I do, and his wife is much younger and much hotter than my girlfriend. I'll give him that.
Who admits that somebody's wife is hotter than their wife? What does that tell you about self-esteem of that person? That person's self-esteem, all the sense of security they have about their relationship with that person. Never mind what he's trying to say. Somebody say, hey, he was his context. He was trying to say something. Dude, it doesn't matter what you're trying to say. You ever come in public and admit that my wife is hotter than yours, you lost. You lost that, not only just that one you just admitted to, but that conversation you're trying to have. You already lost it. These are the problems. These are the issues. Lack of emotional intelligence. You can't speak unless you put something else under, including yourself. You put yourself under just because you need to make a point. You have a need to be right, right? You know, typically they have to put somebody else under, right? They have to put women under. But trust me, it's self-hate. Okay, it comes out. It will come out eventually. It's self-hate. That's the bottom line. You just have to wait longer, listen a little bit longer, it will come out. What am I trying to say here? Gentlemen, you don't want to be this person, okay? What you want to be hearing is like, wow, why is he so angry? Yes, don't listen. If a woman has told you a few times, like, why are you so hurt? Who hurt you? There's a reason. Oh, I keep telling you, there's a reason. Okay. If you don't know, that's even worse. If you get defensive on that statement, oh yeah, it's worse pro max. It's not a good look on you. And it's going to get worse. You're losing respect. Every inch of respect you're losing like that. You're already drained at that point. It's better to just back off completely. I don't care if it's your wife or some random girl on the panel. If she says, who hurt you, back off. Because you're not gonna make any way heads. You're not going to get any. You're gonna feel worse about yourself as you get into that conversation more. It's going to drain you completely. And whatever you're looking for in that conversation, I know what you're looking for in that conversation. You just want to be right. I know.
You're right.
You're already right. I mean, why are you need her to convince you that you're wrong? You're already right, I hope. You need someone to convince you that you're right? It's already bad, right? But let's keep going. There's more to this, trust me.
I'll concede all of that. Those are things that Devin slept with a lot of guys, gentlemen. Devin has a high body count. You think I don't?
So he came out finally and admitted that his own girl has high body count. This is problematic. Oh, I don't have to prove it. He will tell you himself that it's problematic. Just wait. Let's keep going.
don't know that my own girlfriend has had sex with a lot of men. You think that I think I found some special snowflake who declined partying through her 20s, even though she has a great body? Give me a break, guys. I am well aware that Devon's notch count is a lot higher than she will ever admit.
Who comes out in public and talk about their girl like this? Donovan Sharpe. Fake alpha males. They're everywhere on the internet. Everywhere. Right? They don't have any other power beyond their words, their voice, their talking. Nothing else.
I am 237% certain that I am not the biggest ever that Devon's ever taken, and the way I her is not the best she's ever had. Told me this, but I know. I'm almost positive Devon's had bigger, better than mine. But if I ever found out what one of these guys looked like, if I ever found out that one of those guys had a 12-inch, you better believe I'm gonna be insecure. You kidding me?
Oh my days,
Bigger than her, now I gotta see what that looks like. Of course it makes us insecure. That's another reason why men of value don't commit to women with high body count. It's
Stop the cap.
that have been in you, the more huge that have been in you. It's just mathematical. If you've been with 5 guys, okay, all right.
When they say it's mathematical, if they say it's mathematical, hey, let's keep going.
We can deal with that. If you've been with 555, dude, you've probably...
Your affiant learned from the Plant City Police Department that on September 8th...
Did you, before we go back to this person that's reviewing him, did you notice it said 500? You've been with 555 people, right? Okay. All right. I'm not going to misquote stats here or anything like that. I need to leave stats alone. I just want you to see this for what it is with your heart. If your heart is kicking against it, there's a reason, okay? Yes, your feelings, okay? Even you as a man. Some of you, I see you in the chat and you're struggling. You're struggling in there and something is kicking against your heart and you know it that something is just off about this. But you're like, no, I'm alpha though. No, I'm a alpha male. No. In Jesus' name, I'm an alpha male. Let's keep going.
3. Edwin Hopkins Jr.
All right, we can deal with that. If you've been with 555, dude, you've probably...
555.
From the Plant City Police Department that on September 8th, 2003, Edwin Hopkins Jr. had used his father's social security number to rent an apartment in Pinellas County, Florida. Your affiant went to the apartment complex and obtained a copy of Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s rental application, which includes Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s signature and Edwin Hopkins Sr.'s social security number. Your affiant learned that Edwin Hopkins Jr.
So part of the things that's coming out is that he's had a past that's quite dirty, you know. And I don't want to shame him for that because that's his past. But again, if you've gone through some muds in this life, either because women, if you feel like women put you through it, listen, let me tell you something. I mean, women will do that to a man, okay? Not directly, necessarily. But, you know, your experience with women will do that to you, you know. Please engage proper counseling and healing and therapy, please. I beg of you. Because you will drag yourself with the water. It will only get worse for you, I promise you. It's only a matter of time. It will come out. Everything in that dirty laundry will come out. I promise you. Okay? I promise you, everything will come out. It's only a matter of time. Especially if you're running your mouth on the internet. You may think it's Clubhouse. It's just Clubhouse, nothing. Video, this audio app. No, they know. It will come out, okay? Even if all it did is sound like you, okay? It will come out. Let me see. Yvette says, oh, we know she has no respect for him. That voice of his is forced. Stop it. He's trying to be who he's not. He's been doing it for years. But you know, if a lie is going for 20 years, one day like this, the truth will catch up. It's them too that try to help the truth. You don't have to help the truth. The truth speaks itself, undefeated. A matter of time, but yes, undefeated. I'm just telling the truth. No, you're not. big cap. You're capping big time. It's just facts. What I'm saying is just the truth and facts. No, big cap. Stop the cap, okay? If you don't stop, not so anybody, the cap, big cap. anyway, this Donovan Sharpe is misyanning and yanning Opata all over the freaking place. Yeah. I've noticed that in some comments of a random YouTube video, and a guy was sharing his experience of how he met his wife, and who happens to be a great woman and was a single mom. No, wait, we're getting there. We're getting there. Wait, Umbe. This man stated that we're getting there. You got time? I got time today. I got time. Right? Yeah, this man stated how it was in his glorious race that is done with college, and he had done. Do you know that some of these red ass people were dragging? Yeah. Him and telling him that he raised someone else's child. Yeah. He was one of the people that taught them to do that. He was one of the biggest guy who taught this young man to be dragging single mothers or anybody who marries a single mother. Okay, you saw it earlier. Okay. We'll be hearing things about this guy's son is made a male chauvinistic, lack of emotional depth. Yeah, I see that. That's you. He says, "You what? You what? What do you mean?
You what?"
Voila. Anyway, this dude is cray. I don't understand why she's with him. You understand why she's with him in a second. Just wait. This dude is a perfect example of a small prick energy. Yeah. Listen. I'm not the one to talk about other men, but I can talk about how they conduct themselves. I can police how they talk because I want my audience to learn better. Yes, I am in fact policing how the modern man is talking. There's insecurities and they are going about it the wrong way. When a woman has lost respect for you, if you have to ask for it, it will only get worse. Okay? The best way, maybe use your language of what I can tell you to do is back off of her. If she's lost respect for you, back off. I know you're scared. What if you lose her? What if somebody else sleep with her? What if somebody else sleep with her with a bigger bowler? Like this guy was just saying. Yeah, what if? Can you handle that? Maybe the issue is that you can't handle that. Okay, can we say insecurities again? Back off of her if you feel like she's lost respect for you. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision, but you need to, for now, back off. It's as simple as that. But of course, it's deep for you because it's deep. Right? This dude is a perfect example. Okay, we already did that. Jesus Christ. My brain is doing flips, hurdles, shot puts, and so on at the same time. He's all over the place. Wait till they talk. In Jesus' name, I'm an alpha male. This is literally what they sound like. Have you heard them? This is literally what it is. I didn't say that's what they say. That's what they sound like. Oh, by the way, they will argue with you, but I didn't say that. Dude, that's what you sound like. Okay? That's what you sound like. But I never said that. I know. That's why you're confused. You're confused that what you said is different from what it makes other people feel. Right? These are the issues. You know, let me see here. Why but he can shame he can shame women. Yeah. Therapy is required. He's an angry, confused man. He's been doing this for years. Hey baby, how are you? You good? Go to mommy. All right. Therapy, not counseling. Like I don't do therapy. I wouldn't take him up on. I'll send it to a therapy. That's his clinical issues. Okay, I'm sorry. Especially if it's issue like years upon years. No. His little high-pitched voice with small. Hey, Chinye, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about other men's movie. Yeah, I got time today. I got time. he would just go and hug her. Oh Lord, let's do this. Let's go back to the video. Let's go back to the video real quickly. There's a little bit more here.
Had defaulted on his rental payments in the amount of $8,000.
So the story this guy is saying is that they pull up a record. They use funny names on the internet. They don't use their personal names because of their dirty work. They tend to use, well, some of them, there are crazy people on the internet. I can understand why people use names that's not theirs, but a lot of them, because of their dirty work, because they're talking like this, they're actually not too secure in themselves. They use other names like pet names. It's allowed, right? And but this guy from another channel realized, he's on 21 Studios, something like that, realized that that he had texted him before in the past, long time ago, with his real name or something like that, but somebody's real name. He went and dug up a bunch of stuff. He rented a house in Florida on his father's name and didn't pay the rent without the father's consent. But let's see what he has to say about that.
$8. On June 16, 2004, your client spoke with Edwin Hopkins Jr., who advised that the outstanding balance showed up on his credit report. Edwin Hopkins Sr. does wish to prosecute his son for the crime of identity theft.
Wow.
Your client learned that Edwin Hopkins Jr. obtained a Florida identification card listing the above-mentioned apartment as his current address. Your client has been unable to locate Edwin Hopkins Jr.
My dad, the spineless beta male he is, does not have the heart to step to his own son and say,
"Whoa!"
Jesus!
He just called his dad a spineless. What did he say? A spineless beta male. You see where we're coming from now, okay? When people start to talk somehow on the internet, no matter what they tell you about who they are, where they're from, I want you to believe how they're talking more. Believe their rhetorics, how you feel when you're hearing them. I want you to believe that more so than anything they say. Okay? When people say, can you trust your emotions and feelings? No, you can't. You have to do a little bit more assessment especially when you're married to that person, or this is you we're talking about, right? But if you are watching somebody's YouTube channel, like me, and something is rubbing you off, you don't have to stay. Exit. Protect your mental health. Believe what you are feeling. There's a reason. Okay? Listen, there's nobody that comes to the internet that knows it all, including myself. What knows it all is how the energy they carry. That part is, there's some truth in it that you should pay attention to. I told you, he would tell us. He would use his own mouth. I don't make anything up here. I'll just they use their own mouth to tell you. Let's keep going.
"Hey, look, son, I disagree with you. If I expect you guys to take what I say seriously about how to run your relationships, how to train your woman, how to vet women, you guys have to know that I practice what I preach. You guys have to know that I actually do the things and I live the life that I tell you that I'm living. I can't expect you guys to pay $800 for a womanese course if you don't see that I know what I'm talking about."
So let's see if he practices what he preaches, shall we? Are you ready? That video is done. I have a second video. Let's see if he practices what he preaches. Let's see red lipstick. Listen, I've been shading your bras all day long here, but we have to talk about this. We got serious problems. Good to see you, red lipstick. Good to see you. We have to talk about it. She said that dude is something else. That's holistic way of saying it, right? He has done crook type things, identity theft. Yes. Let's find out if he practices what he preaches. You will tell me, right? This one a full blown open yash. So it's not Donovan. His real name is Edwin. Wahaler. Right? I need that Wahaler from what's his name? James Brown. I need that immediately. Oh Lord. Train women. What? We're not puppies. The love got triggered. So we're not puppies. That's what I'm saying. If you need to use that language, train your woman. If you need to engage any type of content that uses that language in 2023, this is the part where you can feel the free to call me whatever you want to call me. But let me tell you what I want to tell you too, right? If you feel the need to use the language, train your woman. Back off of her. She does not have respect for you. Nothing in this world is going to change that. Okay? Nothing. She's not going to respect you. Okay? Because that language, there's certain energy that comes with that. Having to say that out that loud. Bruh. Just call it a day. Engage therapy. Maybe they will help you understand what I mean. Okay? Because there's a good chance on YouTube here you might not get it. Okay? But just the only thing I want you to get today is if you have to use that language, train your woman. If you have to use that language, if you have to say that out loud, yeah, could work. It can't work. I'm sorry. You're going to become the laughing stock. I promise you. Anyway, let's see if he practices what he preaches. You know, let's see. Let's go to this one. Yeah, let's go to this one.
I bought her a ring, proposed. It's worse.
So he's going to tell us a story. I want to try not to interrupt this, but I have to interrupt because of fair use. Okay, so I will interrupt a few times. Let's see.
It gets worse. It gets worse. I'll tell you guys a story. About the
He's going to tell us a story.
I'm gonna give you guys the Reader's Digest version of the girl that I love the most. This story is it's absolutely crazy. To make a very long story very short, I started paralegal school when I was 31 years old, and there's this hot 19-year-old in my class. We took a shine to each other immediately, right? It was a great relationship. We spent every day together. Blah 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 blah. Red flag number one that I didn't even think about. One day, I had a headache in class because I suffer from migraines, and she recognized that. She says, "What's wrong?" I said, "Well, I've got a headache." She's like, "All right." Reaches into her purse, and she gives me this big white pillow. I'm like, "What is that?" She says, "It's Vicodin." And I was like, "All right." So I took the Vicodin. Headache is gone. What's a 19-year-old doing with a bag full of Vicodin, right?
She's a drug dealer. Right.
No problem at all. Red flag number two.
All right, so red flag number 2, 19. Is that number 2? Okay, he's about to tell us number 2, right? Red flag number 1, right? This is the man that's trying to train men. He hasn't finished training himself. He wants to train men, and then he wants to train a woman. All right. Oberin go show you shaggy. Well, let's keep going. I don't have to say it. Let's keep going.
She had homemade tattoo on her wrist, right? Told me she got it when she was 15. Hold on. Red flag number 3. Stay with me. Red flag number 3. She had a 6-year-old. She was.
All right. So if somebody, okay. So, all right. If somebody got with a 19-year-old who had a 6-year-old, right? That's a single mother, right? You know, you as a 31-year-old man. At 31, do you know what I was doing at 31? My firstborn was 4 years old. I had been married for 5 years. No, 4 years. It was 3 years old. My 4 years at that time. Okay. I have gone through far and wide, as in like just adulting, right? Right. Well, there's nothing wrong with starting a new business, but you found a 19-year-old who gave him a little bit of something, right? Red flag. First of all, 31-year-old man reading red flags all over the place. That's a red flag. But that's what they do. They go on the internet and teach people red flags. They basically scare the living day life out of men, right? And unfortunately, a lot of these men don't realize that they're telling their own stories. They're projecting big time. Okay. So he met a 19-year-old who has a 6 years old. Trauma. Like, what? To him, it was like, what? Right? Of course, that's kind of crazy, right? But let's see what he chose to do. Let's keep going.
He was 19 years old who had a 6-year-old, which means what, class? She had her child at 13, which means she was having at 12. It gets even better. The baby daddy was in prison at the time we were dating. Oh. Statutory EPAR. Here's the reason why they didn't throw the book at him with Jessica's Law. It's because she testified to the jury that she seduced him, and the jury actually bought it.
All right, that's a big part of their story. These modern women, Me Too, throwing men under the bus, testifying against men all over the place. When you have this kind of experiences as a 31 years old who is actually a 13-year-old, maybe you should engage therapy before you start a YouTube channel. Maybe, just maybe, right? Let's keep going.
Jury actually bought it. So let's set the scene. So my birthday, I open up Facebook to get all the birthday love. She left her account open on my computer on Facebook.
Guess what he's going to do? Insecure men, when a woman leaves the account open, right? Even if everyone will probably do that to an extent, but especially this type of people, right? What do you think they would do if you left your account open on social media, right? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's watch it together.
Scrolled through, saw all kinds of stuff. Drove to her place. I said, I want you to be honest with me. Have you cheated on me? I wanted her to lie to me. And I wanted her to lie to me so I could just keep up the delusion. She said, honestly, yes. That is the worst emotional pain I've ever felt in my life. To this day, I never will. Dude, I went to her bathroom. I puked, ripped off the necklace. She's blowing me up at work all day long. I'm sorry. I can't pick up the phone. So finally, I picked up the phone. She's like, hey, I'm sorry, I want...
No, the reason why she probably said, yes, I did, is because she probably thought you were about to destroy her, But she did, she told you the truth, right? That should have been enough, right? Remember, 31 years old to 19 years old, okay? When I was 31, if I deal with a 19-year-old girl, I'm not taking that serious. It's not that deep. At least, if I have to deal with 19 years old at 31, there's no way I'm taking her that serious. That I will drive over and say, tell me the truth right now. Did you cheat? These are patterns. You can see this. It's consistent. This type of stories, okay? You just have to wait long enough. They will use their own mouth to tell, because no explanation is ever good enough for them. Shalaye is a bastard. They engage in shalaye without anybody asking them. They have to tell. Because why? Because they have a need to be right. Zero emotional intelligence, zero social skills. I don't know why he's telling this crazy story, but you don't know it's crazy yet. Let's wait. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. She's like, look, I want to come to your place. I have a birthday surprise for you. So she comes over. She has like this little cupcake, and she bought me a watch that she knew I was looking at. Then she turns around and lifts up her shirt. There was my name tattooed on the small of her back. Dude, my hand to the man. So I was back in her clutches. Things went all. It was.
Wait, because she tattooed your name. She ain't borrow. These people, because she tattooed your name, right? This is how Mars and them be vetting women. Let's keep going.
All downhill from there, guys. This story gets so much worse.
How old were you?
I was 31.
You know why he asked how old were you again? You know why? By the way, his is coming. His is coming too. He's one of them. Okay? It's a matter of time. I'm patient. Okay? He's much more balanced. What's his name? MTR. It's much more balanced, but still, I don't know. It's something I'm smelling. It will come out. Okay? We'll be here when it comes out. But I'm telling you, if you have issues when you were younger, you're not alone. You're not alone. It's not just you. That's number one thing I want you to know. The other thing I want you to know is that it's not the whole world. Stop generalizing. It's not the whole world. That was your experience. You need to own that. Now, after that, you need to engage therapy. If you're still confused, engage, because it's not them. They also don't believe in therapy. It's them too. Therapy doesn't pull healing out of their ass. It's going to come out of you. But you need someone that can hear you out and help you interpret the stories you're telling yourself in a healthy way. You can interpret the other way around and come on the internet prematurely and try to save the whole world. Kolewek. Listen. Kolewek. It's not going to work. You will drag yourself in a poto. He's about to pick on my poto now. Let's keep going.
31 years old. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 17.
Oh, no. So
even MTR said, I thought you would say 17. What did I say earlier? This is a 13-year-old boy inside the body of a 31. Don't start a YouTube channel if you have issues that are negative, that are extreme in nature. Don't do it. I mean, they want you. Let's keep going.
So she continued. She continued cheating on me, right? So I'm always trying to catch her. I lost my job. I lost the place that I was at. The car that I had was paid for because I paid cash for it. It broke down. I didn't have a job, so I couldn't get it fixed. I'm evicted. I ended up having to live with a couple of her drug addict friends in a quasi crack house. Both people were on felony probation.
What?
You can't make this up. Both people, the guy and the girl, were on probation for felony possession. They were on felony probation, ankle bracelets, the whole nine. And so I lived there, and so I had to live there, right? And so finally, and I kept trying to get back with her. September 16th.
He kept trying to get back with her, a 31-year-old man. If you're still 31, there's a chance. If you're 40, homo. You know what they say about a fool at 40, right? Yeah. You can find help at any age. Don't let me say that. But 31, everything you know it's gonna be like pulling hard teeth, trying to change you. He kept trying to get back with her. But let's keep going.
Baby daddy gets out of prison. Okay? Baby daddy gets out of prison.
The baby daddy get out of prison. Let's keep going.
I called her up on September 15th. I said, you know what? I can't do it. I think you still love Ben. I can't do it anymore. Dude, she cried her eyes out. Hung up the phone. I stayed up all night long. I couldn't sleep. So I called her up. I called her up the next day. I was like, hey, meet me at this gas station. Then I called up my brother and I borrowed $800. He gave me $800. I went to the jewelry store. I bought her a ring, proposed to her. I proposed. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, it gets worse. I swear to God. People wonder why I speak with such conviction about these things.
No, we don't wonder why. We wondered like there's something. Well, some of us, there's something. You're gonna tell on yourself. It's only a matter of time. Because you can't keep up a lie. No, the truth is undefeated. Not the one you say with your mouth when you say, I'm just telling the truth. No, not that one. The actual truth, right? It's undefeated. It's only a matter of time. One day, right? One day. Okay, so everybody was a conviction. No. We knew, but it's still like, gee, then why me? Jesus Christ.
Dude. Look. It gets worse. So she says yes, right? So now, all of her friends are like, oh, she's getting engaged.
Moro.
Well, eventually she started fucking the baby daddy behind my back. Of course. So
She eventually started sleeping with the ex that gave her a baby at 13. Like, duh, right? He was in jail. That's why you were in the picture in the first place. But somehow, this is why I keep saying work on yourself. Because You'll pick up this kind of things when you work on yourself, right? Way ahead of, like, you would just hear this kind of stuff like, duh, right? That's what you'd be saying too, but it's extreme. And the sad part about this is that there's some people that have mild situations. You know, need GSS too. One little girl dumped you, and you kind of felt some type of way because she got with the popular guy in class. It wasn't that big of a deal, but you hear this kind of story, and then it takes you over the edge completely. Now, wow, let's keep going.
This love triangle. Anytime she was pissed off at me, she'd go and fuck him. Anytime she was pissed off at him, she would come and she would come and fuck me. So finally, on Thanksgiving, I had to call my brother. My family was in This was in North Carolina. My brother comes out into this quasi crack house, and he's kind of looking around, and they're all looking up at him like, "That's your brother?" And of course, we look alike. And so I'll never forget, man. I'm telling my brother about the situation. He's like, my real name's Alex. He says, "Alex, what are you doing?" And I said to him, "Dude, you don't choose who you love." I still loved her. So he drives.
Wait, what? You don't choose. You're a grown 31-year-old man. By the way, there's a lot of men that feel that way. So let me chill. All right. You don't choose who you love. No, you don't choose who you're attracted to. As a matter of fact, at 31, you need to know that you should be choosing who you love. You should be making a well-informed decision. Okay? At 31. I'm not negating the effect of attraction. Who you attract, listen, even after you're married, you're going to feel attracted to certain types of people. Just attraction. It doesn't mean you have to execute on it, right? Just because you're a human being, right? That part you can say you don't choose it because it's harmless. You don't have to execute on it if you have self-control. You know that's just attraction, right? Like that person, sometimes it's as simple as that person's a good-looking person, right? Sometimes it's attraction. It's strong enough that you might have to like flee, right? But choose who you love. You don't choose who you love. So if you didn't know that at 31, it's only natural that at 38, after you hit rock bottom, you jump into the internet and try to teach everybody that no. Put your foot down. I say stop it. If she's disrespectful, tell her stop it. Really? Is that how that works in real life? Dudes are lame everywhere. Jesus Christ. Let's keep going.
Back after Thanksgiving dinner, this girl calls me up and tells me that she was now engaged to be married to Ben, right? I'm crushed. I'm heartbroken. I'm crestfallen. I'm doing pills. I'm doing drugs.
From the time that you recognized the tattoo and that she had a 6-year-old to this time, how long has time progressed?
I met her the first day of the second semester, so right in January. So this happened this happened in one calendar year. So I'm telling you, can't make this stuff up. So now I've lost her forever. So now I'm doing drugs and all this other kind of stuff. During the time I was living at that quasi crack house, they were telling me, yeah, this guy, that guy. During the summer, she.
That's why they always give you the example of the barber shop. Do you want your girl for everyone to come to you and tell them that, oh, this one don't smash, this fear everywhere. They just operate with so much fear and they expect a better result. You get with a young lady, she's of a certain age, she's above 23 according to him. Yeah, she's not a virgin. So now you're like, maybe somebody at the barber shop is going to tell me he smashed too. What kind of life is that? Is it me? What kind of life is that to live? It's no wonder men should just go their own way. Like, no, that's not life. You can't enjoy life. You can't have a good experience at life living like that. Oh Lord, let's keep going.
She was already a small girl. Yeah. She lost an exorbitant amount of weight.
Because she's on drugs.
That she was shooting heroin all summer long. I had no idea. She kept doing.
No, this has nothing to do with her. It's about you. Ladies, if this was you telling this story, this has nothing to do with him. It's about you. My show.
It was unbelievable. So anyway, so New Year's Day comes around. Oh, wait a minute. Let me back up. December 10th, the guy, so it's a boyfriend and girlfriend in the crack house. The guy, I was at the library. Listen, the probation officer arrested the guy. So then he's in jail for probation violation. So it's just me and his girlfriend. I had no interest in her.
Yes, you do. You are hoping that she will eventually dump him for you. Ice, good to see you. Ice, good to see you. You were hoping that she would dump him for you. It's no wonder why they project so far and wide. They can't wait to tell you that you're going to have the same experience. Remember, if you've gone through something crazy like this, you're not alone. Other people have gone through something like this. The other side, second step, is for you to realize that no, the whole world has not gone through this. This is the minority still. The third step is to engage wise counsel. I will personally say at this kind of level, you need therapy, clinical assessment first. Because there's nothing you assess in life when it comes to romance. It's only natural that you assess it with these filters. It's only natural. You're just being human. You're being human. But if you start telling yourself lies and say, no, it's just them, let me save the whole world, you're lying. You're lying. You have to keep up that lie, and that's not sustainable. It's only a matter of time. It will come out. I promise. Guaranteed. You know, I don't do a lot of guarantees. This one is guaranteed. Let's keep going.
No. It was not like that at all. Well, he was feeling some type of way about the fact that I was staying there. So he called his landlord and told him that I was staying there without their permission. New Year's Day, little Jamaican man comes to the door. He points at me. He's like, you don't live here. And if you're not out of here by 9 o'clock the next morning, the sheriff will come and put you out. Called my brother again. I was like, dude, I'm going to be homeless. So he bought me a bus ticket to Atlanta, and I go down to Atlanta where my mother.
Remember, this is above 31-year-old person. By the way, there's a lot of 31-year-old that may having a hard time finding their way, even their 30s, even for life happens. Let's be honest, okay? Especially a lot of men, that may be entrepreneurial in nature. They're not really a 9-to-5 person. God forbid, it can happen, okay? But with that being said, it's good to note that this is a 31-year-old person who is already homeless. By the way, say I may be homeless. No, you're homeless already, right? Your brother has to be buying you tickets. What about your stuff? Like, do you have anything? Or you just have that 2 piece of cloth, right? Again, I'm trying to take you back, right? Now back to forward. When you hear them talk a certain way on the internet, and it's kind of rubbing your spirit up the wrong way. You can't pinpoint it, but you know that something is off. There's a reason. We're human beings. We have incredible radar for bullshit. We might not be able to, and you should never pre-assume, by the way. Don't use your mouth and say, I know, don't do that. That's not wise either, okay? But brace yourself, protect yourself. That's all I'm trying to say, because it's probably a reason. Let's keep going.
And brother were living, and kind of started over then. So I lived in Atlanta for 6 months, decided to move to Vegas. It was that's a whole big long story. A couple of months into living in Vegas, I get a phone call from a mutual friend of ours, me and the girls, right? And she's like, you are never gonna believe this. I was like, well, what happened? She said, Ben is dead. I was like, this is her husband now, right? The baby daddy.
The husband, the baby daddy that came out of jail, the person that eventually married her. All right, listen, what happened?
They got married. She says, Ben is dead. Here's what happened. 2 weeks after she married this guy, she started having an affair, right? She started cheating on him.
The lovely lady.
Dude. So the story goes is that he gave her $20 to go out and get Chinese food. She took her daughter.
Wait, what's the surprise? He's cheating on the husband with somebody else, not him, not Mr. over here, right? Right? Where's the surprise, right? Let's keep going.
With her, goes to the guy's house, calls him up and says, hey, I'm leaving you, and I'm gonna be here with this guy with the daughter. Of course, he loses his mind. He drives out to the trailer. He starts kicking in the door. The guy on the other side of the door says, if you kick down this door, I am going to shoot you. He kicked down the door and caught a shotgun slug to the chest, done and killed immediately. It gets even worse. They had to put an ankle bracelet on her.
Wait, it got worse?
They suspect that she might be the shooter, right? Let's back up one more time. And again,
Jesus Christ. All right. By the way, I'm not hearing it for the first time. I heard it yesterday, but the same effect is happening all over again. Literally. This thing called love losses. No, you will need to go back to the beginning exercise to really get a grasp of this fully. All right, let's keep going.
and this is all relevant. This is when I still had my car. I'm driving to her place from work. I get to her place, and there are 3 cop cars in the driveway. I'm thinking it's because of something that happened next door, because the dude was always beating on his girl, right? That's the kind of place this was. The cops were at her place. She got arrested for possession. The people I was staying with had called the cops and ratted her out. So now she's in jail, right? And of course, I have to save my fair maiden. I called up an old roommate and borrowed $1,350 to bail her out. She gets out.
Why? Because you are hoping one day she will still marry you. Oh, Lord. All right, so this is what happens when people project. There's a lot of projection all over the place on the internet. That's all I'm trying to say. That's what this is. Okay? When you see them talking so aggressively and they talk in absolutes and they're generalizing every other sentence, okay? There's no specific examples in their rhetorics, or they can do a 5-hour live show. There's no specific examples. It's all generalizations. He's just talking like it's just textbook. That's a red flag. You need to protect yourself. Okay? There's some generalizations that you can hear. You know this person's coming from a healthy place. We all generalize, by the way, on the internet. There's only so many examples we can give, right? But there's some, like every other sentence, literally. They can't even, if you say, can you give me an example? They can't. Because they will have to tell on themselves. But it's only a matter of time before they tell on themselves. Eventually, therapists will need a therapist with the patient. Yes.
I love you. Then goes right back to Ben. So now we fast forward.
You said Ben was dead.
I backed up.
He backed up.
Okay.
This was before.
Oh, okay.
So you bailed out.
Yep.
The young lady who had left you.
Yep.
To go back, and then you borrowed the money.
It was back and forth.
You borrowed the money, so you had to pay back this money to someone else who has nothing to do with the situation, and then she went back straight.
I size a 50-year-old cab be in this position. Yeah. But I saw what you said earlier. I was trying to respond to it. Maturity versus age. Maturity is a function of time. Just in general, okay? So, yes, age is a part of it. Okay? It's not the only variable, obviously, right? So I hear what you're saying. There is more of maturity, but maturity is a function of time. You can't. A 2-year-old baby, you're not going to say maturity. They're not relevant, right? After a certain time, then the old age thing may end up a bottom small because other variables comes in, but it still is. That's why a typical 60-year-old man tends to be a little bit more matured, even in the way they talk, right? But also that ends in potter too, because a lot of them are on the internet misyanni anyhow. They're following 23-year-old man to Brazil right now, so it is what it is. I hear what you're saying, but majority is still a function of time. I don't want anybody who is of certain age to think that, it's just maturity, so they can disrespect. This one just called his father. You missed it, I think. Just called his father. What did he call him? What did he call it? Some kind of beta. Like he called him like some shameful beta or something like that. I can't repeat. I beg. I'm tired. Let's keep going. But you get my gist, ice.
While she had the tattoo of you on her.
Yep.
Okay, keep going. I got like 15 questions to ask you when this is.
I'm almost done. So now we fast forward. So Ben is now dead. I don't know how they got away with it, but he's not the guy is not in jail. She ends up married.
This guy doesn't have any shame at all. That's not new. The moment somebody gets on the internet and misnya anyhow and talk anyhow in absolutes, they already don't have any shame. And you can't shame the shameless. Okay? So that actually is not new. That's why I said it's just a matter of time. They would tell on themselves. The same energy, they won't even know when they do it. Okay? They might even flip it on the head and say, hey, I'm getting attention. A lot of people are coming to my channel now, you will collect woto woto. This is not good attention. And yes, there are bad attention. Yeah. If you don't believe me, wait for it. I'm patient too. Let's keep going.
The guy that killed Ben and had another daughter. So in the end,
This was the original baby daddy.
the original baby daddy is dead. The original baby
Oh,
daddy.
Ben was the original baby.
Ben was the
I'm
original baby
getting the
daddy.
names. Okay.
But
Ben
the
was-
lovely lady went to the
The
guy
new
who
guy.
killed Ben.
And
Yes.
now, okay.
So and
He just said lovely lady. Okay. All right, gentlemen.
so now she ended up marrying the guy who killed her first husband, had another daughter with him. So the father of her first child was killed by the father of her second child. You cannot make this up.
You see what we're talking about? See your life? Yeah. So I'll get to the gist, but I just need to say this again. The point of this is that there's a reason why somebody thinks they have to use aggressive solutions with other human beings. It's personal. Okay, no matter how many times they try to generalize, it's personal. No matter how much empathy you have for them, you're like, oh, I don't say that. No. It's personal. Okay, don't take it personally because it's personal to them. Okay. No, there's no guarantee in life. No, you could get dragged by women or men in life. Break fast, no be anybody's mate. It's tough on people, on human beings. Okay? That's the truth. Breakfast is tough on human beings. So I'm very aware of that, and I want you to know that, again, you're not alone if you've gone through something that makes you gravitate towards the extreme polarized views online. I understand. I get it. But I need you to understand that there's no good in it. You need to find an equilibrium. You need to find a center. You need to find emotional self-control. You can't find it where people keep reminding you of what that felt like. You need to engage healthy counsel that will give you a picture of what life could be outside of what your experience was, and will give you work to do so that you can replace some of those experiences with some new experiences, so that you can know that there are people in this life that are having good experiences. In romantic relationships, we're talking about romantic relationship at the end of the day. You know, they never talk about the fact that this is romantic relationships. It's all, they think it's business, like we're just going to BMW to go buy BMW. They never point out that we're talking about a romantic relationship, meaning you might lose your mind and start bailing out some girls that you know is not yours. Some girl who is clearly troubled since 13 years old. So when they come and tell us, don't stop saving baby mamas, they are trying to tell themselves to stop. They are the one going through it. They're still going through it, at least mentally. Falling in love with a single mother is not the same thing as saving baby mamas. You missed the part that they fell in love with another human being for whatever reason. They attracted what they attracted. They're not trying to save a baby mama. They just fell in love with the person that happened to have had children before. So whatever advice you're trying to give at that point ends up in the poto instantly. And let's not forget that whatever it is that you're speaking from, that experience, you have not healed from it. It's going to get worse for you because you're going to drag yourself on the internet, because you will lose your self-control. Your masculine frame is not there anyway. You're going to tell on yourself at some point. And yes, women can tell too. They can tell that you're full of shit. You're not no alpha, nothing. Okay, you're alpha of a bunch of kids on YouTube. But not to a woman. Not to a healthy woman either. Let's keep going.
And so, this is why people always wonder why I'm so passionate and I'm so.
There was only 17 years old that are wondering, and people with 17-year-old minds, 60-year-old men with 70-year-old minds. They're everywhere. I know. I've seen that. But they're minority. The only time you start to feel like they're majority is because you end up in their echo chamber. You're not the majority of people. There are a lot of wise men out in the streets, starting as low as 21. When they speak, you're just like, nah, this is a solid guy. They're everywhere. Okay? So, ladies, if you're looking for a husband and you found yourself in the manosphere and you're like, yeah, but these kids are just complaining, they don't want to marry. Yeah, duh, they don't want to. These ones don't know how to recognize feminine energy. If you argue with them on the panel, they'll call you masculine. So what are you talking about? you think there's husbands there? There are some. I'm not generalizing. I don't want to. Okay? But the loudest ones are empty barrel. For obvious reasons, it's true in every aspect. It's a principle of life. The loudest noise are made by the empty barrel. Take that to the bank.
Oh, sure. I have seen the worst. I've been in the worst of the worst situations. It is the worst situation I have ever been in. But to this day, I can freely admit that I have never loved anyone or anything as much as I loved her. And that is...
Till this day! You think this man will marry her if she comes back?
I need this girl to give some girl game. She's getting rings left and right.
No. He's toxic. He attracted what he is exactly. And the fact that he's able to tell the story with his full chest, yeah, it's actually worse now. Sadly, it's worse now. Okay? That's my opinion. You know? That's my opinion. Let's see.
You have viscous innards made of plutonium.
It certainly felt like it. it certainly felt like it. The girl, like,
I just want to know.
She was 19. She was 19. She was hot. Had a southern twang. I mean, it was all
you
there.
can hate, but she's gotten more proposed.
Wait, there are hot girls everywhere. He keeps talking about she was hot. Jesus Christ. She obviously lied. The guy was shot. Like, yeah. He attracted himself. That's why he can't put it on her. This is why anytime people sit around and judge or blame or shame the other gender, they're talking about themselves because you attract who you are. That's 100% true all the time. And no, you can't cap and keep hiding under community talk. It's not a community talk. You can't build a community if you don't know how to keep a home together. You just can't. I'm sorry. Okay? Charity begins at home. Yeah?
Proposals than I have.
Proposals from guys who were clearly either simping or who had gone to jail with jail for having relations with her at 12 years old.
Look.
Questions?
Would Donovan have been Donovan if Donovan was exposed to Donovan's work today at 31 years old?
Yeah, I would not have made that mistake. With her.
Watch this.
You know what's interesting? A lot of times I think, actually, you know what? No, I think I still would have gone down that road because.
Will you keep quiet?
Well, here's the thing. As men, we are hard-headed. Most lessons that men.
Stop the cap.
You can't teach.
He is attempting to teach men again. He won't stop. They don't know how to stop. Another Papi Johnson. They don't know how to stop. They can't stop. Because the arrogance, pride. Oh my God. Oh my day.
Oh my days.
Some lessons can't be taught. Some lessons you gotta learn. That was a lesson. Dude, everybody could have told me, stay away from her. I was in love, man. Like, dude, she was nice. Dude, she's the hottest girl at school. She's showing me off. I mean, I was in love. I had to.
I got you. I'll be right with you.
I am so fortunate to have made it out of that armpit of a county in rural North Carolina. It is literally the lowest I have ever been in my life. And to be able to sit here.
He's making good money now. That part he figured out because he's a huge YouTuber. I want us to see 1,000 subscribers. Where did she go? Where did she go? Anyway, she left.
Here with all of my accomplishments, despite having gone through that's a miracle. It's a fucking miracle.
Oh my days. I don't know. 7:37 p.m. Wow. I don't know where to start from. But I think I extracted all the lessons as I was playing them. I'm exhausted. I'll be frank with you. If you want to come back, come back. I would like to chat with you. Please come back. I'll wait a little bit. Some adults are too. I don't remember what I said about children. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm seeing all kind of misbehavior in every age bracket. So I don't know. They have not healed. Yeah. Yvette Williams, good to see you, by the way, Yvette. I'm getting exhausted with his ripples. We're done. It's done. But that's a hell of a story, But the gist here is that, listen, I'm going to look for, because this kind of stories, this kind of people with this rhetorics, extreme polarized views, they also exist on the woman's side, the exhausted feminist side, where they always try to mix feminism with family, and it has to be some kind of crazy rhetorics, extreme ideologies and stuff like that. I'm going to find some and respond to some, because it's happening on both sides, to be honest with you. I'll be very, very honest with you. It's happening on both sides, and we'll drag them. The only thing is I don't follow those as much, because obviously I don't follow a lot of women channel. But I do stumble into them every now and then. When I catch one, I will definitely review them. And I tell you, it's the same thing. You just want to stay away from polarized views, okay? Some people call me defensist. I don't care, You need to be on the fence, okay? What that means is that if it means being able to see the issues from both sides, I need you to be capable of doing that, okay? Because if all you can see is from one side, there's a good chance it's personal. There's a good chance that it's a filter. There's a good chance that the rest of the world don't feel the way you feel, but you're blindfolded, and you will only see things from this extreme wars arena all the time. And you're going to self-sabotage. Allah, so good to see you. Right? It's only going to get worse. It only gets worse from there. It's not a good look, It's not a good look. So we have to be very, very careful. Brother Patrick says, as he learned from the relationship, he's teaching men. He's trying to save men. He can't, In fact, I bet he's trying to move on right now and just try to. The only thing I can see from his page, if I look at his page right now, I'm looking at, because I'm a marketer, I can see some of his tactics. He's talking about himself in third person. He's Donovan sharp. He's trying to drown the search engine, so when people search for his name, they will stumble into his channel. That's what he's trying to do. They don't learn. They can't. They're not in that space, especially if he has money and he's doing well and he's being supported by another big platform that tend to push this type of rhetorics, fresh and fit. There's nowhere to learn from. People don't learn. People don't change unless they hit rock bottom. And sadly, this is not going to be rock bottom. It's just just clout for him. Just clout. Okay. So, but rock bottom is nobody's mate. It will come. But when that happens, then it'll be open. But again, self-awareness can help you to see, hey, why do I have to wait until I hit rock bottom? It's not healthy to come from extreme when it's personal. Some people do it by design to build their platform. Even that one is dangerous too, right? Because if you're lying that you're an extreme polarized view, again, you're lying. That will haunt you too, right? But if you tend to be extremely polarized in your views, it's just, I don't care what direction the view is, it's just bad. Because the world doesn't operate like that. The world operates off of an equilibrium. It's a balance. Life no balance, right? But it sustains itself somewhere. It's always doing this, right? But if it goes like this, man, that's not a good look. It's not good at all, So yeah, it's damaged people everywhere on the internet, because anyone can turn on their phone and start filming themselves. Be careful what you're listening to. Be careful who you follow. Don't take anything I say here as gospel truth ever. Assess it. Listen to it. Process it. If it rubs against your spirit, it is what it is. I don't care. It's probably because you have some other moral standards that you're following. If it's completely against society, you will end up in jail. You will end up in McDonald's. Now you know how to find that, right?
You will end up in McDonald's.
Yeah, you end up in McDonald's if your rhetoric is just I'm just doing me, but it's kicking against societal norms. Be guided, okay? Be guided, all right? Because this life, no balance. So you need to find your own balance at the end of the day, you know. So unfortunately, people don't learn, people don't change, people don't adjust until they actually hit rock bottom. As a matter of fact, this podcast where he was talking on, there's a good chance that he got overly consumed by the fact that it's a huge platform. The other guy that was talking has over 500,000 subscribers. That's huge. That's big exposure for him. He has only 166,000 subscribers. All of that affects your ability to be able to think straight. So that's why I'll be like, you know, I gotta tell a crazy story since I'm on here right now. I gotta tell my simp story, right? And then the other lady, Just Pearl Things, she's a lady that panders to men in the red pill manosphere all the time, heavily. She makes a lot of sense in a lot of things she has to say, but it is what it is, you know. But I'll leave that at that. She's young, 23, 24, 25, something like that. What do they know? Yeah, eyesight. What do you know at 22, 22, 23? What do you know? Tell me what you knew at 22, 23. When you turn 35, do you know the same thing? Would you look back and say, yeah, I was the wisest person when I was 19? Is that how that works? No, right? So again, I'll give her space, I'll give her some room to grow, right? But she has 1 million subscribers. A 45-year-old man will lose his mind if he gets on that kind of platform. Right? They will lose their mind. A 65-year-old man who is after clout, all they think about is clout, they will lose their mind. They will start to tell stories that basically tell on themselves. But this was a good opportunity for us to see that, hey, when you hear people talking on the internet, extreme polarized views, you know, they say, hey, that girl didn't call you yesterday. She told you that she was going on a girl's trip. Like, oh yeah, she's about to sleep with somebody. She's going to have sex with that person. If that's how they talk, oh boy, look the other way. Oh, okay. Does that mean that your wife won't sleep with someone on a girl's trip? I didn't say that. Does that mean she will sleep with? No, I didn't say that either. Everybody's story is different. Some women just need a breathing room. She's been taking care of babies for 5 years, and she needs to take some days off, not 20 days, please, okay? She needs to fly out with her sisters. Whatever it is, right? But because you've been listening so hard, every move that a woman makes, it must be she belongs to the streets. If she posts picture to the internet, she belongs to the streets. I saw a lady the other day on one of these blogs. She said, if a woman posts pictures all the time on Instagram, don't marry her. Yeah, women saying that. Yeah, that's where we are. Right? An average healthy woman that you know posts pictures on Instagram. Okay? They may not do like this to post picture, but they do post picture on the internet. Okay? Alright. So if you know that an average woman does that, what do you start to see? If you truly believe a man saying that on the internet, you start to project. Well, you can relate somehow. That's why you're projecting. And now you're saying, yeah, they're for the streets too. You walk around the internet looking for women to call for the street, for the street, for the street, for the street. You're lame. It's lame behavior now. You're telling on yourself already. You don't have to wait until you tell us a crazy story like Donovan Sharpe's story. You're telling on yourself. Okay? Other men in your echo chamber may not be able to tell. The women can tell. That's why they're asking you, who hurt you? That's why. That's why they're asking you that question. All right? So let's call it a day. I keep trying to push this to 2 hours, but I don't know. I may just have to, I don't want to give up, because if I give up, it might go to 4 hours. So let's call this a day. On your way out, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here today. You know, the Prestige family is here. I know. Once I see 25, 27 where we are right now in our growth, I know that the Prestige family is here. Shout out to everybody else that comes to watch the crazy gist and all that kind of stuff too. You know, as they come, we'll get to it, because there are massive lessons in those two, and it helps us grow. Nonetheless, I appreciate everybody that comes here, all the support, super chat, even Cashapp's, yeah. All everybody in the Prestige family on WhatsApp, please join. You can join us over there, and you can use this phone number as well. It's scrolling on the screen, okay? And we'll keep coming back here, to talk about relationships, power, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence, patience, love. If we have time, we'll talk about marriage. Okay? Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.